Previously on The Sims 4 Big Brother. Before being able to reach the boss level of this game, our house guests have to go through a triple eviction week, where 6 of them will be dwindled down to our final 3, and immediately they headed into the backyard to face the next HOH competition, and Vanessa managed to stomp the grapes the easiest and won the power of head of household. Then she had to immediately nominate 2 players for eviction, where she chose not only Akira, but also Mark, the 2 powerhouse men in the competition. For Power of Veto, a familiar game of horseshoe was laid out in front of everyone. And through multiple rounds, we dwindled down to our bottom 3 of Zoe, Rashida, and Mark. But with a mass dropout of having to use the bathroom and being hungry, Rashida managed to outlast everyone else and won Power of Veto. And for the Power of Veto ceremony, she decided not to use the Power of Veto and left both Mark and Akira up on the block, while everyone else had to vote and decide who was going to leave. Akira managed to snag all 3 of those votes, and with a unanimous decision, Akira was the next person to leave and join the jury house. But the triple eviction is not over yet. Tonight, we will see another HOH, another POV, and another one of these losers leaving the game for good and joining the jury house. But who's it going to be? Find out now on Sims 4 Big Brother. Hi all my beanie weenies. Yes, I did take a little bit of a short break for Thanksgiving, celebrating the holiday with my family and friends, but also mostly working a shit ton. However, we are back for a brand new episode of The Sims 4 Big Brother US Season 2, and we are continuing on with our triple eviction. Feels weird to call it a triple eviction week when I took so long to continue it, but whatever, we're moving past it. Now, we already saw one person go home, and in today's episode we're not only going to see an HOH, a POV, but we're also going to see another eviction. So to start things off, we have to have everyone gather in the backyard for the HOH competition. Now Vanessa, since she was the last HOH, she cannot compete in this one. Instead, we have Bob, Mark, Rashida, and Zoe all competing to find out who is going to be the next head of household. Now, welcome to the Take It in Stride HOH competition. Bob and Mark, you are going to go first. And as you see laid out in front of you, we have 2 brand new horses joining the household. Each of you will get on up onto your horse and start walking around the barrels laid out in front of you. The sim who can last the longest in both rounds will win HOH. Now, get on up, partner, and start walking around those barrels. Obviously, at first, I thought they only needed 1 set of barrels, so I did quickly go ahead and add another. So now they are both going to be circling around them side by side. Now, it is getting later on in the day right now, so as nighttime falls, we are going to go ahead and turn on the lights here in the arena, brighten the place up a little bit. However, I do think temperatures are going to drop, and we'll have to see if that affects our house guest or not. But right now, they seem to be going at a pretty even rate. We do see Bob and Mark both hitting the barrels a little bit, but so far, nothing bad has happened. And I have to ask you guys, what do you guys think of the Horse Ranch expansion pack. I've barely really played it. I played with the horses a little bit here. It's the main reason why I wanted to have a horse-style HOH, was to kind of mess around with them a little bit more while also being productive and filming the series. But I did dabble a little bit on my own, and while the world was nice, I kind of find everything else a little bit boring. But I don't know. I was never a horse girl, so maybe that's why. But I am curious at what you guys thought about it. On the sidelines, we see that the two girls are bonding quite a bit, and maybe this will help them out in the long run. They're actually able to sit here and talk one-on-one while the boys are preoccupied competing, and maybe that'll help them secure an alliance with one another, as that becomes crucial as we dwindle more and more in the numbers. And this seems to be becoming quite an endurance competition. I feel like the boys might be at it all night, because so far they haven't really made any mistakes. They haven't fallen off their horses, and they haven't quit, but surely their bladder is going to be begging them to quit sometime soon. That being said, I'm also not sure if this is more of an endurance competition for the competitors or for the horses. I don't know, is this animal cruelty? Are they getting paid to do this? What's going on here? And this is where I began to worry that this competition was a fail. I honestly didn't think it would last this long. I mean, none of them have had any experience in horseback riding. I thought first time up on a horse, it wouldn't be going on for hours, yet here we are. The two of them just keep going around and around those barrels, and again, this was right when the pack got released, and I hadn't really dabbled with the horses very much at all. This was kind of my excuse to play with the pack, and I began to worry. However, we do see that Bob does eventually come to a stop, which means he is now out of the competition, and Mark will be moving forward into round 2. Now, I don't know if it was the Sims being the Sims and being annoying, or if it was a little glitch with the horses, but it took me quite a long time to get them to come to a halt. And in my rules, it does say if you fall off the horse, you are out of the competition. And even though Mark had already almost won this round, since he got kicked off the horse, he is unfortunately out of the game. So we lost both boys. Bob and Mark are out of the challenge. But now we're going on to round 2 with the girls versus one another. We have Rashida on the black and white horse and Zoe on the brown. And now you would think that after galloping around for so long that these horses would be a bit more tired. They haven't used the bathroom. They might be a little bit bored and antsy. So I'm kind of hoping that this round doesn't last as long. But by the end of it, either Zoe or Rashida will be HOH. Now, it does take some time for Zoe to actually get her horse in the right position and to start walking, but when she does, she actually gets the Likes horse riding trait. Will this give her an advantage in the competition? We'll have to wait and find out. Now, again, this competition is going on a lot longer than I expected. We just keep seeing them go round and around, and not only are the boys getting antsy on the sidelines, but Vanessa isn't too happy either. If only the horses or the girls themselves would be having such a hard time, but they both seem to be in pretty high spirits, and our horses seem to be doing pretty good so far. Now, again, I haven't played too much with the pack, but maybe when I was making horses, I should have made them more agitated or angry if you're able to do that. I'm not too sure. Again, I thought that they would be able to hop on the horse and just get kicked right back off, or if anything, maybe have difficulty even getting on the horse, but so far it's been a little bit too easy and too simple. Maybe they wanted, or they thought that everyone wanted to just be able to ride horses all over town instantly, which I feel like would be the case for most people, but for me, I wanted a little bit more of a challenge, and so far, this is pretty easy. And since they didn't really have any skills before, they couldn't really do too much off the bat. Maybe I should have tried to make them run instead of walk. I'm not exactly sure. I need to get back and start playing the game a little bit more. Maybe leave me some tips on how I could improve this challenge in the future for anyone that has been playing with the horses more than I have. I think I just need a little bit more time with them, but I don't think our housemaids need any more time with them. They are spending so much time with these horses. I kind of feel like some of them are going to have a better bond with these horses than with some of the people left in the house. We got a stronger alliance between Zoe and this brown horse than Zoe with Mark or Bob or anyone else. I don't know. We're going to see who the horses vote for later on. I wish. That should be the twist that I unleash, is that the horses are actually contestants and they'll be able to vote and potentially win. I think that would be kind of fun. Or maybe I could do it all animal season of something. I don't know. Now, I do want to apologize about this episode being fairly boring, as all we've seen are people ride horses around and around in a circle. However, it has finally come to an end. We see that Rashida has stopped moving, therefore she is out of the competition. And I thought I would watch closely to see how her and Zoe got off the horse, as that surely mattered when it came to Mark. But if we couldn't make it any more official, the horse did itself by kicking Rashida off the back of it, and Zoe is able to almost gracefully get off the horse, but nevertheless she lands on both feet, which does mean congratulations, Zoe, you are the new head of household. You will be safe for this eviction today. You will be nominating 2 people of your choosing, and we will find out who those people are immediately. So everyone, come on and head into the diary, or not the diary room, oops. Head on into the dining room where Zoe is going to make her nominations.
Ablish, Barbamul Sebrum, Bashen, Shampa Zen.
Now with such small numbers, we only have 4 people to choose from: Mark, Vanessa, Bob, and Rashida. And as we can see, we can look through the relationship statuses to see who she's closest to, and she is pretty close to some of the horses. But the first person Zoe has decided to nominate is Zoe. Zoe, you will be facing eviction tonight and potentially going home. However, we still need 1 more nomination, and the second person Zoe has decided to nominate alongside Vanessa is going to be Bob. Bob and Vanessa, the 2 of you have been nominated by Zoe. However, you are still in luck, as the power of veto is up for grabs. The 2 of you plus Zoe and everyone else left, Mark and Rashida, will all be competing in the power of veto competition, which is going to take place immediately. Okay, we're running out of time and one of you losers has to go home tonight. So with that, everyone head back on into the backyard where we're going to start our Power of Veto competition, and I may have given you a little bit of a hint of what it's going to be already. Welcome, house guests, to the In Deep Shit Power of Veto competition. Now, even though the horses may be out of the house, they left behind some doo-doo. And in front of you, you all have lanes that you're going to enter and clear out. The first person to get rid of all of the poop and sit back down in their chair will win. And with that, get ready and get started. Now, here is where it's going to get difficult, because we see that Bob is immediately taking a different approach. He first just grabs one pile of poop and then decides to go ahead and throw it away. But not only that, he decides to throw away all of the trash in the house. So it doesn't look like Bob's going to be winning this competition after all, as his priorities were not correct. Meanwhile, the 4 remaining players are really close together and almost tied up. But like we saw with the Coming Up Roses HOH competition, it doesn't really matter how close they are now, it matters how fast they are with throwing this away and sitting down. And so far, Zoe is in the lead, and while her and Vanessa both reach the garbage bag at the same time, it looks as though almost everyone else is caught up, and all of them start to walk away. They all want to take out other remaining trashes, except for Rashida. She is the first one to actually sit down after throwing away her poop. We see that Bob is now back in the storage rooms trying to find other stuff to throw out. And while that was pretty messy, I love how unexpected it is. And of course, congratulations, Rashida, you have won the Power of Veto. So let's go ahead, let's all take a seat in the living room and get ready for the Power of Veto ceremony. Alright, now once Bob finally makes his way over here, and to be fair, he did have a long way to go. He went all the way through the camera runs, upstairs into the back offices, but he is finally back inside the house and on the nomination seat. Now, of course, Rashida has won the Power of Veto, and we are going to look at her relationships to see if she's closest to Zoe, our HOH, or the 2 nominees. And because she is so close to Zoe, she has decided to respect her nominations and to not use the Power of Veto, which does mean Bob and Vanessa, the 2 of you, are officially up on the block, and one of you will be going home tonight. Now, neither nominees can vote, and Zoe, our HOH, will only vote in case of a tie, which is likely as we only have 2 votes going in tonight, with the first being Rashida. So as Rashida heads to the diary room, let's get a look one more time at her relationships and see who exactly she is going to be voting for. And Rashida has voted for Bob, putting him in the lead. But with 2 votes, things could get very dicey. Let's see if Mark follows her lead and sends Bob home, or is he going to vote for Vanessa and make this a tie? Alright, honestly, I think it was a smart move for Mark, but he has decided to vote for Vanessa, which does mean we have a tie. So, house guest, We have a 1-to-1 tie between Bob and Vanessa, which means Zoe, as HOH, you must now split the vote and decide who goes home. Let's look one more time at who you're closest to, and then decide. Bob and Vanessa, the vote has been decided. And Vanessa, you have been evicted from the Big Brother house. Please go ahead and say your goodbyes and head out the front door.
Mopsy Vombo. Bordehe Semba Clushin Ruffla Blor. Kumba Moobni Plevar.
Nuba Facia Harb.
Whew, okay, Vanessa did not seem too happy with Zoe. That's why I said I thought it would be a good game move for Mark, because the blood is not on either of their hands. Instead, Zoe got all the blood for getting rid of Vanessa. Now, will Vanessa harness... is that the right word? Harness? Grudge? Whatever. Will she have a grudge against Zoe? We'll have to wait and find out, because Vanessa will be joining the jury house and will be coming back on finale night to vote for the winner. And of course, like always, you can download Vanessa and all of our house guests on the Sims 4 gallery at Hot Dogs Sims, where you can also download this house, some Big Brother UK houses, the Big Brother 25 house, and a completely empty shell for you to get and make your own Big Brother house. But I'm not going to leave it off just there. No, we have to get back to the jury house and figure out just how well Akira was able to adjust to the luxurious surroundings. Now, Akira bypasses the front door and instead goes around the back because he knows the party's happening in the pool house, where he is greeted by a burnt pink Angela. We have, of course, Kaori mixing it up at the bar, and Nox and Angela are enjoying that bubble blower, and Akira looks like he's perfectly happy, why did I say it like that? Happy spending his time here with some good music and friends, instead of battling it out in the house trying to get some simoleons. Everyone seems to be in a great mood here in the jury house. We do not have any fires currently, now that Nox is, not in the kitchen. But we do see that Angela has discovered that she likes being deceitful. It's a little bit late to discover that. You should have discovered that before entering the house, and then maybe you could have lied your way a little bit longer and not be in the jury house right now. I am curious what they could be talking about, though. I would assume that Akira is just filling everyone in on what happened in the house, but I'm wondering what Angela could possibly be lying about. Maybe she's saying that she wouldn't have a gun for him. Who really knows? I have tried to look into actually including the speech bubbles, but I don't know how to make them stay. If you guys are aware of a mod or something that I can use where you can see the speech bubbles while in cinematic mode or whatever, let me know down below, because I would be a little bit more intrigued to see what the little hints are. But we see that Nox has decided to show our new juror the pool, and the two of them are deciding to have a nice little swim and maybe explore the rest of the house. I do like that in order to get to the back door from the pool room, you do have to swim there. It's a little bit complicated. Inside, though, we see that Nox has developed some piano skills and is devoting a lot of his jury time to the piano and learning a new skill. That way, maybe on the outside, with his newfound fame, he could become a famous musician. Meanwhile, for Akira, he is upstairs trying to pick out which is the best bed that he can claim and take a nap in. And this one helps him dream about one thing, and that's money. And we're going to be ending today's episode there, so make sure you hit the subscribe button, you keep the alerts on, and are notified for our next episode where another loser is going home. Bye.